Hey guys, welcome back to RimWorld. Uh, I just started, cleared all the trees. I just didn't think you guys wanted to just watch me do that. Built that, built this, made more storage. So I put chunks, and then eventually, well, I used those. So now it's still not great in there. But I was going to keep going, but we got a set of visitors. Sometimes that'll happen. Could be one, could be 15, you never know. Anyway, this one wants something. That one has something. Like a quest. That's what that means. And they also have item to trade. So if you go to jump to, it picks person. But anyway, you can talk to them, you can not. It doesn't matter. So we can trade. And then see what they got. But he has some beer and a weapon and a balaclava. Now, a little bit of other things, but we don't really need any of this. I mean, that tech print would be nice. That'll help with researching for jump packs, but we won't need that for a long, long time. What would be nice, but we have 800 coin, 800 silver. We can get more because there's silver around here, but we have to mine it to get it. And then we still need ammo for this. So I don't really see that, and we don't need that there's anything here. So we can check for quests on this one if we want to get some. Let's just see. Anyway, ancient complex. I'll give you a possibly gene stuff, DNA or mechs. Item stash be an item, and this would be animals. Hospitality, I mean, somebody's got an animal they want to send you to stay with you, and possibly, you might have to take care of, keep alive. But usually it's fairly easy. It just, gives you guys something else to do. We're just gonna do that, just because I clicked on something and I had to. Anyway, you got 14 days for this expires. But anyway, and so you can these KS-23, and you can arrest them. He's cowardly, trigger happy, kind, delicate. So yeah, not very good about him. You have to get past these weapons though, but artisan crafting would be kind of nice, but lazy. But that unwavering loyalty. Refuse to be recruited. Now I have a mod. I don't know if it's any. I don't remember if it's. I don't think it's one of the ones that I have on listed. But I did. That will allow you to actually get unwavering loyalty, unwaveringly loyal pawns. See, he's not. But I don't care for either one of them. And what you want to do, if you're going to do that, make sure they're not a faction that is out there in the world. You can't find any villages of. Otherwise, they'll attack you. Anyway, so we're making power, but we need to get the power over to us. So we go to power and go to power conduit. Waterproof, which you would use if you want to go through the water. Hidden is great, but it doesn't only really matters if you're trying to get it through a building, through a wall, like right across through here, because power conduits are ugly. Hidden one is one that's underground. You can't see it as it goes through here. Otherwise, you keep it in the walls, and then you don't have that effect. It doesn't give you a negative effect. So go here, and then Actually, we could just make it a little bit shorter right here. So let's do that. Cancel. Because we're going to build a wall right here. So it'll be covered up by this. So that gives us one less right here that we had to use. So we just keep going. These guys will eventually leave. See, this means he should have a quest, but we're not getting that option. But yeah, we need to get light in here. That'll make them a little bit happier. See, needs. Awful barracks. Hungry. But you got food there. Not paying for that. Stuff on the ground. So we need to build some... means he picked up his food and went somewhere else instead of sitting here at the table for some unknown reason. Sometimes they do that. Make that into a gather spot. So, what we need to do is we need more storage room. Still got a lot of trees to cut. So, we still got some food. We need to start building. Okay, tell you what, this is what we're going to do. I like using stuff that's there. So, we're going to go like this, like that. And this is where we're going to start building stuff. Stone cutter's table. Says it's outside, but once we build the walls and a ceiling, it won't be. Guess we go ahead and put one of those there. This is eventually going to be our kitchen. Maybe I might change the walling around, you know. Refrigerator needs to be bigger because we're going to need a lot more room. If we get enough colonists, we're going to need a lot more food. Yeah, see, they're leaving now. I keep it on the fastest because you can always just pause it. Yeah, let them finish building this. And we will go to furniture. Yeah, wall lamp. See? We'll put it right here. Now you see the line? That's how it connects. That it's like basically a cord. Even though the stuff is technically, I guess you'd say wire. Well, it's not wireless because you'll see it. If I put it here, if it could go there, you would see a line, a wire. Just like you're gonna see here, it's gonna be a wire going across this way to that. More visitors? No. Defenses. Yeah, and as you if I build more power over here, I can change it to where it connects right here, and you don't see that. It doesn't change anything, you know, because it's got no power to it. Or I mean, it's you can't see nothing on here to show that there's a power line going through. But I just don't like the way it looks, so I usually prefer to have them, if I can, connect to something. I just don't go out of my way to spend resources just to do that. Okay, mad guinea pig. Oh, these are visitors. They disappeared. but they're not doing anything. There's nothing for them. Now you can try to arrest them so that you can capture them and convert them, maybe, if you wanted to, or you can kill them. Mad guinea pig. It doesn't show it, but usually if they're manhunters, they're affected with a disease called scaria. In which case, sometimes you can't eat them. They automatically start rotting, like as soon as you kill them. But because these guys are here, I wasn't worried about it. Otherwise, you'd have to send my guys up here to fight and attack. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Now it will. Okay, we got wood. So we're going to go over here. On one. Go to floors. And I'm going to go wood flooring. And then I am going to click it all. And I like to do the doors. Any of the flooring that's there, in this case, if you look, it says sandstone tile. Sandstone's better than the wood. However, there's not enough of it, and then we don't know if there's going to get any more sandstone. So I'm just going to make it all wood for now. Then we need to, no furniture, wall lamp. Let's put one right there. That covers the whole room. Lights up. We just got to make power over. So we'll do a power conduit like that. That's what I do. And then I'll do a hidden one right here so you don't see it. And then I will probably make a regular power conduit all the way over to here, just because I might, if I keep all these buildings, I'll just build a wall over it. And the only thing I got to do is make it go up to like right here, somewhere right up in here, and then the line will go and connect it. Oh yeah, gotta get rid of that. See, so it doesn't make enough power. That's why it's going so slow. So we got that ready to get mined out. So it'll pick up the sandstone. It moves it out. I think I'll probably change. Let's go stone blocks. And I'll do ingots too, because they shouldn't deteriorate. And then go here, go ingots, stone blocks. Then let's go ahead and we need to make a butcher table. So when you're building for food, the dirtier it is, the more likelihood of you getting food poisoning. So you don't want your butcher table and your kitchen to be in the same area. You want blood and all that away from all this stuff. So your butcher table, you don't want it in the same area. So I'm thinking maybe I might put it like right here. Or here. And then, yeah, probably like right here, build a door here, and then enclose this so that you go butcher and then you go into the freezer, drop it off. Drop off the food. And then only this area stays dirty. Everything will still get dirty. People walking and all that, and cooking makes dirty, just like in your kitchen, your real life. But it's not as much. It won't be as much blood, things like that. So, wooden butcher table. Yeah. And use that. Just build, and you can do a butcher spot if you needed to out here. If you didn't have enough wood, you do that. Because see, it doesn't cost anything. We'll do a crafting spot though, right Just because you can craft some things here that you can't make yet. And once it's here, dang it, hit bills, add bill, and it'll tell you what all you can make. Not what you have, but what you can craft from that station. You know. But like this, for instance, we don't have smoke leaf, so we can't really make that. But what I do is I'll put shred mechanoid, do forever, so if you find any, pick that up, it'll do that. And then you can do like backpacks, but see, we don't have anything to make the backpack out of. But if you had one, if we had the stuff to do it, which we might get once we butcher that guinea pig, we'll get at least a little bit of something. We'll do 3 times, because all we have is 3 guys. So we'll see what that does. Anyway, just like in Kenshi, this is the job order. You can change it by hitting that. So as long as there's mechanoids for them to find, they will do this first, and once they're done with that, then they'll move to this. Or I can do that. So usually what I do is things like this I put at the bottom of the list, so that they'll do the other stuff more important, the important stuff first, and then they'll always do that if they run out of materials to do the job up here. So they won't do this job without having materials to do it. So we now have power for the light. We need to get rid of that, so the power will increase. Let's see, who can do, he's got a 1 of mining, 0, Maria's got a 5, so, and then it shows what they're doing right now, as well as where they're at on this. You want everything green. But as you see, the more they sleep, their hunger, like in real life, hunger builds. This is technically more like satiety, or however you want to say it. That's why it's going down. And when they eat, it starts way up here. And the mood, you want it to be as high as possible. Building floor, we want to remove that because we need power first. See how fast that was? And now this thing spinning good. Auto cut, that's that mod I have. So I set it to cut anything that grows there. And I built it here because there's a lot of things that can't grow. So like this, you can't grow anything on this area. Over here would have been better for that, but that'd have been more material I had to use to come up there with power. And eventually I'll probably get rid of these once I get enough other power. These are food, berry bushes. And they'll regrow if you just harvest fully grown. They'll take whatever's there, then leave the plant, so they'll regrow and not just cut down everything. But we don't need the food yet. And I don't want to cut them down and the food go to waste. Same thing with the hill root. So anyway, I like to always have chairs because I want to sit down when I do work. And the stools are the easiest one. Say 25 wood versus this 45 wood. But these are better. No. Do this. Now we go here. That's actually a new one. Added from some of the DLCs, I think. Then it's these. So I prefer granite. So we will do until you have X, and then see if you hit shift, it's 1,000. Alt is nothing. I can't remember. Oh, control. It's about 2s. So we'll make 210 of those. 210 blocks after they're cut down. So what I usually do is I'll build a zone, do a stockpile, another stockpile zone for now. Let's do it right. Yeah, right here is fine. Go like that. And this is going to be nothing but no, it should be under chunks, right? Yeah, stone chunks. No stone chunks there. No stone chunks there. Strictly just stone. Okay, now we need to go back to power. Go like that. It doesn't need to be quite that far in, but we're gonna make eventually put lines through to make power everywhere. But now they have powers. So if we go here to Ann Taylor, we're going to need clothes. Now let's see. Let's look at some. Tribal backpack. 20 of them. Crafting spot. Make sure, where was it at? 20. So that's the same. Doesn't seem to change at all on that. But let's we'll make some parkas just because we're gonna need them if it gets cold. I don't know how cold it'll get. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so this is a milestone. Usually once you get certain things, it has this pop up. Give your faction a name. We'll call it, I don't know. What is it we're going to do here? We'll call it, no, we'll call it, well, yeah. This is our part-time. Mongoose Settlement. Yield, Menden, Salt Flat. Quiddo, that would have been right. Should have kept it. Yeah, that's fine. So settlements is where you do that Empire mod. Anyway, you can change names, whatever. We don't have one set, so none of this would really matter. But we'll take that. So, yeah. We don't have anybody set to craft or to tailor, so that's not going to happen. But see, work speed factor 50%. Not sure why. Ambrosia. You can click off these. Right click and it'll get rid of it. But I like to keep these up so I can always remember there's some ambrosia. Anyway, it's a drug that sells for really good. I don't let my people use it, so I let it grow, and then you can harvest fully grown and then come back and do it a couple more times. And then you can disassemble all of this stuff, give you steel. But as long as they're still in the ground, I usually just go for that first. Okay, so let's see. Ancient concrete. Let's deconstruct these two, and then we go back to floors. Remove floor. That'll give us all that. Excuse me. Get that out of the way. Oh, we need to do this. Add bill. Put your creature. Do forever. Then if you go back to here, you can build copy. Put it there. And then we'll go wood floors again. Yeah, that's fine. Put it like this. Deconstruct. You can, well, in some cases, like a mod I have, will put a door there automatically and deconstruct it to put the door. Or you can deconstruct and then hit a door. Either way. And we'll put a steel door right there too. And go back to here and we'll build right there. Oh, wrong one. Okay, yep. Okay, let's see. Floors, wood floor, do that. Actually, I'm going to change all this. This is going to get mosaic once we get some blocks. Can do it at granite, but I don't really want to do that. Mosaic is just a little better, a little prettier, and it looks more like what you would like an 80s kitchen sort of vibe to it. Oh, rich soil. I didn't see that. 140. We need to. This is where we need to build some crops right in here. That's mud, so that's not going to do us any good. Yeah, I mean, I could build faster and do more stuff, be constantly doing something. Or you can take your time. The more prosperous your place becomes, the more likelihood of it getting attacked. And if you need blocks, without being able to make them, you can just remove all these. So we will uninstall that. Deconstruct. So I'll just do that. Deconstruct that. And that one. And the only resources we've done really is chop down some trees as far as affecting the environment goes. Trees do grow back, even where you're building, like they can grow anywhere around here. We need to, let's see, go back to here. No, remove floor. Get rid of that. It's a concrete floor, so we're just going to get rid of all that. That'll give us some resources. animals if you really want to, or you can tame them, but you need to have a pen, otherwise they'll wander off. So that's just more things you got to worry about. And since animals, it's random, they appear there, they'll disappear, some will come back. So it's really, to me, it's not that big a deal to get them. Now, if we lived in some place that's really cold, I would be more worried, but I'm not right here. That's why I chose what we did. Low food. Okay. So, did we ever... Yeah, the guinea pig's gone. So either something else ate it, or we did get it. We just don't have any meals. Okay. Well, I'll go to temperature. Now, build a campfire. Makes heat in a room. The smaller the room, the more heat it is. Same thing with passive cooler. But you can cook on a campfire too. Heater is the best way to go if you got power. And then, of course, the coolers. And so the red part is where the heat is. The blue is the cold. So you could turn it around and it'd make this warmer. But really, you'd be better off just building a heater. But what that means is, if, say, for instance, we wanted it right here, it would put heat. See how that turned that room red? It'd put all the heat in there. Well, if we were someplace that was cold, it was cold out here, but we needed, but not enough to freeze, we could do that, and it would make this warmer, and then keep this frozen. But if you're in a place where you need that much heat, you probably just open up a window here, open up a wall and keep the stuff would just stay frozen. So you want to make sure that is facing outward. And then you want to make sure, like, we don't want to build it here in case we decide we want to build a room, because then that's putting heat in there. We don't want that. So make sure you put it in a place that you're more likely not going to build. In this case, we might build crops right here. So we don't, and if we wall it in, then we don't want this putting in heat. But we don't know which way we're going to build. So what you can do, you can do this. Then what we do is we build a wall right here. That leaves this open. As long as you keep that as an open area and the guy don't build a roof, then the heat come out here and dissipate off into the outside. Right now it's been outside and then it's no big deal. It's just a little hotter right there, but it's outside. It's not going to make much of a difference. We guys can walk through. But if we decide we want to build this in a room, we would need to build like that to keep the heat out of it. And there you go. And the temperature is set to 70. We will reduce it to 32. Takes 200 watts. Power usage is high because it's, and that's our grid excess. See, right now it's building up because the wind's blowing. Now it's light wind. It's going down. Zero stored because we have no batteries yet. So if we had more power buildings, something to build power usages go down. But anyway, this will be now our freezer. So eventually we'll take all the stuff out except for food. And then we need to start building bedrooms. The guys are going to start needing their own rooms. The sooner you get on that, the better off you're going to be. So we will go down to structure, build a wooden wall, and we will use some of this. Okay, also, so you can go to zone, no, orders, yeah, and you can plan, and it'll make little blocks and design, and it doesn't affect nothing. It just shows you something that you put there, but it'll stay there until you remove it. Like we did that, didn't change nothing. It's just there. And then we can build it and say, this is how we're going to build our room. But it'll always be there. See, until you remove it. Otherwise, it'll stay there. Now, it'd be cool if you put down, well, you kind of do. Embrasures are also a little way to shoot. You can shoot through them. So they're good, except if you put it like here, it'll make this all open. This will no longer be a room anymore. So I only use those if you have an open area that has walls for protection around it and nothing else. But if we go build wall, wooden wall, we'll just, so what I do is, I'll just do it like this, like that. Click here to see where I'm at again. Okay. Go down 2, that leaves that, like that. And then I will select these because I don't want to build it yet and turn it off. So now we know where that wall is going to be. We can't build inside, you know, unless it's crops or solar panels, which we're not making anyway. So that way at least we know where that's at. So now it's a matter of rooms. So you decide how big you want your rooms. In the beginning they can be kind of small, but you're going to have to build bigger. So if you want to save resources and time, build the small rooms and then turn those into prisoner rooms, and then build your bedrooms somewhere else. You know, especially if you're in a place you're worried about it being cold, build small little rooms first. Ideally, you're all going to be in one area, and then build smaller rooms off of this so that the heat and coolness from in here can go there. Just leave the doors open or something. That way there's still bedrooms, the doors are just open. But everything's a matter of, you got to plan it, because if you want like water, to everybody get water, they're going to have to run. If you build here, you're going to move the water somewhere else. That means everybody's going all the way over here to get water. Same thing with like bathrooms, if you want to do that. So try to keep stuff centralized. So for us, we're going to build some crops here, maybe over here or something like that. Keep them all kind of together. So let us go with bedroom starting right here. I usually do a pretty decent sized bedroom, so I'll eventually put in double beds. So let's say for instance they're right here. I like to put end table because that helps sleep as well as beauty. Table there, and usually like the dresser, that helps with beauty right there. The bed comes out to there, 4. Yeah, I think it's just 4. And so you don't want it too cramped, but you also don't want it too big because then it's wasted space. So I'm thinking probably here. Bed, I think. Let's see. So right now we're going to do wooden bed, just one. Go right here. Yeah, it'll go here. End table right there. And then we could shorten this up, right? Yeah. Now see, it won't show you anything if you hold Alt, like the size, like here, how its space is average sized. That's what you want. The average size. So this will probably be a little tight. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Then I'll use this wall as the wall for the next room. So if we go 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Fill them all roughly the same size. I mean, I put doors different. Sometimes they're centered, sometimes a little off. Just depends. Okay. And then I'm going to put a 2 space between it. This room would be a little bigger. For what's his name, X-Ray, since he'll be the leader. Now we need to allow that. Then we'll eventually move one of these as well as those in there. Yeah, see? Then those happens at random. So you could go while in the beginning, like in this case, he is a pigskin. So it means he looks like a pig. He's carrying a knife. Probably nothing else. Oh, he's got a smoke leaf. Yeah, got a bayonet. Let's look here. Good social. Good melee. But he can't care, clean. Can't do plant. Greedy, which sucks. His cooking sucks. So he is really not worth anything. Now, what I like to do sometimes, if you play it right, you get a dude to come over here and say you break open, say 2 areas. That way they'll see it as a place to walk through, and then if you walled it off or something, then they have to go through it, and then they'll fight these guys. But if you can't take them on, you don't want to do that, because they'll wake them up, and then they'll come out and start shooting everything they can find. So, we'll take X-Ray. His mood is 53, not good. So we'll take him. Move him right there. Okay, well, let's move over here. Ooh, see? See his shooting going up? And now he's hurt, so with this, heavy fur pants, poor. See, they're not very good, but we will strip. Undraft. Let's strip them. Do that. Then, if he had something, if I was really wanting to keep him, which if he had other stats, like if his cooking was a little bit higher, maybe I would. I mean, social, it would be nice to have that. But he's greedy. See? Because otherwise I could make him give him the job of our damn it, the moral guide, Yeah, we'll finish them off. Do that. They will eventually, like, they can get up and walk away or crawl away, whichever, and you gotta watch them, they'll die. See the bleeding out. 4, 3. Extract the skull. I don't know if we need it or not, but oh well. Go ahead and chop all that wood. Might as well. Then what you want, if your guys are doing stone, you want as close as possible. It's like this is where stone quarry is going to be. I've seen guys come out and they'll, like in some of my playthroughs, they skip the whole quarry and they wander off grabbing something far away. And I don't know why. This is slate, marble, slate. Them over and say like powers. Damn near gone. We don't have enough to keep this cold in there. We got plenty of wood, so I could build a wood firing generator, but yeah, and I probably will. But right now, have beds. They'll stop sitting on the floor. So what you want to do is check out their needs and remove as many of these as possible. Just like Zomboid, we want as few noodles as possible. Start working on these. Like we can, that one by building a bed. Awful barracks, well if they're all in individual rooms, that'll go away. They'll just have awful rooms instead. Disturbed sleep means somebody else is coming in while they're sleeping. So if they're all separate, it'll get rid of that and possibly that one. And just leave this one, you know, which we'll fix when they have beds. So now we wait. Build more power again. Yeah, looks like our dog. Because I keep forgetting we have one and we got to feed him. We need to make a little dog sleeping spot. So let's go. Make one out of granite. That's fine. Can do that. And we'll put it. Wherever the animals go, there's always going to be animal filth. So you don't want it in your kitchen if you can help it. I might shorten this up, shrink this down a little bit. Like say build a wall right through here. Go in the kitchen, they cook stuff up, you go in here, drop the food off. But people will have to walk through to get in here. So we may build dining room off of here. I want to keep that. Yeah, put it right there. It's outside for now, but it will be inside. How you build your base, the actual layout is all up to you. I usually connect mine and keep it inside. You don't have, there's going to be a few little outside areas. Just because I'd rather people not freeze running around everywhere. Same thing with heat, overheat from it. So usually my stuff is enclosed for the most part and together like a compound, while some people, or like a vault, while some people will build different open areas, so you have to walk across, build pathing, get over to it, and keep stuff all separate. Well, that means like fires are easier to control, because if this burns, it's only going to burn here. No, not the whole thing. unlike if you built it all together. Downside is power. Now you got to build something going way out here to bring power to all this if it's not connected to here. And then you got guys going everywhere. Either way is good. We're going to set the owner to Alb. Right now they're not bedrooms. They're all open because there's nothing, there's no windows, there's no doors, there's nothing. So we will go with steel for now. Put doors. Then they'll cut the trees down. And then inside they'll build walls. Outside will stay open. See? They can't build them there, they have to cut those down first. Here we go. Now it's a matter of wall lamps. One there, one there. I'll do one there. Okay, start with that. Install this right there. Install this right there. Install this right there. Okay. Let's just remove it. Yeah. Fine. Assign. These two are indoors. This one still says unroofed, which means it's outdoors. As soon as he cuts it. Okay, now they're indoors. Now all we got to do is make sure we have power to keep the lights going. And it's 88 degrees. That's 68 degrees. I don't know why there's a difference there. Wonder if it's because when the door opens, it's getting cool in there. All right, well, let's look at them now. And it takes a while for the stuff to go away. It expires 7 hours, 7 hours, 3 hours. Yeah, and this, poor quality. It's not as good as the what we have, but at least it's something in case the more you get shot up and damaged, the worse your gear is. So at least it's something for now. If you take it off of a dead person, it becomes tainted, and your guys will get a debuff, a bad mood, from wearing somebody's clothes that somebody died in. But you can later on research washing machines with Dub's Bad Hygiene, and then you wash them, and they become clean, and then you can wear them. Most of the time I get to that point, I don't need the gear anymore, but I still clean them, and then I can sell them because you can't sell tainted stuff. But mostly I just save it for when I'm getting really good gear from a dead guy. Okay, let's look at this. We go here to there. go there, and then we'll smooth these walls out, and they'll look better. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. Because we don't need the walls yet. I just do that because it helps protect this. Actually, I'll probably cancel that. Put a door there. Sometimes you'll get resources from these, a lot of times you don't. But I don't like having stuff around that, you know, floors and things like that of a ruin. Yeah, they'll cut, I don't know if they can. His head's missing. Can you do it? Yeah, head's bitten off. We need to get rid of human corpses here. Corpses? Humanoid? No. No mechanoid corpses either. We'll do mechanoid corpses there. But then we need to make... Got to get rid of corpses somehow. So, I don't know why there's a tab for guns galore when there's nothing there to it. Graves are probably the most obvious one. But I think, yeah, we can make a burn pit. Grave is just a hole in the ground. So if you're going to build one, sometimes your guys will want to go visit it. So you don't make it too far away. Then you may want to set up all these. Like this party spot, we'll put right there, meditation spot. Just to help control your guys a little better. Put it right there. And hitching spot for now, we'll go there. We don't need the tax spot yet. We'll do a marriage spot right there. That's for Empire. Whenever you start building your settlements, they'll bring you money. So that can help, but it costs money to build the town. And you need a lot of money in the beginning to make sure once you do build it, you spend money on security, troops, stuff like that. Give them good gear. The better the gear, the more it costs to make them. To make, you know, units of it. Okay, well let's start with, we don't have any more wood. We need to cut some more. How many blocks? Oh yeah, over here is how much stuff you have. And it'll just keep going. The more stuff you have, the more stuff goes down. It's not everything, so it's like there's no dead body here. You know, no granite chunks. You know, none of that's, it's just the important stuff you might have. So we have 140 granite blocks. So I'm going to go here, go to floors, let's say, what else we got? 41 slate. And okay, this is what we're going to do. Granite. We're going to go ahead and do granite wall right there. That'll give us some more wood. Granite takes a little longer to build. Now, we'll go with the wood floor. Yeah, do this one first. See, not enough. But this will help. 120 left. Put one there. And we'll go there. Give us some more wood. You can't do carpet because we don't have enough any cloth. We're not making any, so that's out. We could do stone, but it's really I just don't care to. Not when I'm gonna eventually do cloth. So for right now, it's good. I want some marble, but we're still building more granite. I think probably what I'll do is lower the amount of 150, and then we'll start making marble. 110 is fine for now. Let's get it going. We need to move some marble. We need these stones to get moved out. Usually what I'm doing is every place that I have like storage, if it's outside, I'll make it all concrete. Silver. Not part of any faction, so we can do whatever we want to them. Well, let's look. The problem with kids, okay, one, their stats suck, but they can get better. But you can't do anything with them at age 4, other than they can clean, and they can watch people work. They'll do that, and their skills will go up depending on who they're watching. But other than that, he's 10. He's going to be old enough pretty soon to start doing something. These are all good, but a chemical interest. See? No traits on cable. That means there's still chance that they'll get older and we'll get something good out of it. But it means 2 more people to feed, and I think he has to go till he's 15, 16 to become an adult and actually become where he can actually use these stuff. Otherwise, the only thing he can do is like clean and do minor things. Haul stuff, I believe. Well, to do this, we would need to do sleeping spots here, there. Or prisoners. Okay. Let's wait till they wake up. Yeah. But when you're going to try to do something like this, if it's an enemy, it's one thing. You shoot them till they go down, and as long as they don't die, you run up, you patch them up if they're about to die, try to keep them alive, and then capture them and take them into someplace, and then work on them. Try to convert them. I would convert before you make them before you recruit them, just because you can't convert them after that except with ideologian, and that means you need a place, a temple and a spot to do it, which means you have to go to ideology and put in a ritual spot or build all these things like this large altar, a lectern. Sometimes you're going to need these things. Because we're all the same ideologian, this is it. If one of our guys was something different, then it adds more things to it that you don't want to do. You want everybody the same religion. Harder, and it's easier to convert, like I said, if they're a prisoner versus if they're not. So I would definitely capture, then convert, then recruit. Unless you absolutely just need that person, and then hope you can convert them later, because they might just convert one of your guys to their religion. You got to watch out for that. Yeah. Yeah, so we can't do nanotech because we don't have that researched yet. So that's out. Security is just barricade spikes and sandbags. People can go over both of these. They can walk over them, except this is a little harder than that. And it gives a bit more protection. Spike traps are always good to make. Start them off with wood, then build maybe stone or even steel later on. Eventually we're going to have a bathroom set up. Oh, looks like a litter box. That wasn't before. Vacuum toilet is from, as well as water tank and sewage dump port. Those are for, Odyssey came with those for spaceships, but you can still make them. Yeah, dumping stockpile. Mostly, how you can still, like a lot of stuff that's here. You can put in the dumping stockpile, but you can't, like, there's some things you can't. So I would use the dumping stockpile if it's going to be for like corpses, if you don't want to bury them, or mechanoids, corpses, or fecal sludge from the latrine. So you block drain. Somebody needs to go there and fix it. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with it. Growing zone is where things are going to be grown at. Your home area is like all this. Every place that you've been and done something, so we can clear that off. Clear that off. And that means people will go there to repair stuff too. So if there's a fire, they'll go there to take the fire out. So like here's a grave. So if there's a fire, it's not going to burn the grave down. It's not made of wood. They will of latrine. But that also means they'll go there and clean. So you want to keep this as minimal as possible. Like that. Roof area is like this. There's all roofs there. So I could build a roof area over this as long as I had something to put it on, like columns. I could make a roof area, but then it would stop this from working. So if you wanted an open area like a pavilion, you put in some columns, which won't do anything besides just sit there, and then you build a roof over it. Same thing with like all these pollution removal area. If there's pollution, it'll start removing. They'll spend time trying to get rid of it. Same thing with snow. So it's all cosmetic stuff like that. Recreation, poker table, billiards, all these are better. They give better recreation, but they just cost more resources. All these are better. Straw mattings for, like, if you have animals, you want to put that down there so that it keeps the area clean, a little easier. And of course, a floor is easier to walk on. Movement's a little faster on it versus just ground, soil. So you definitely always want to have something. Everything should have a floor or a path where your guys are going to. And a lot of times they will take the path over walking over. They'll try to go for the easiest route. But, you know, like if they were coming this way, going that way, they're not always just going to go straight across and diagonally that way. They might come this way and then come over. You don't know. So if you build a path, like I would do diagonal path, they may skip some of it. And they may not. You never know. Anyway, fuel stove, electric stove. Fuel stove uses wood. Electric is what you really want. But they don't really, there's not much of a difference between them. An electric stove can't use wood, and a fuel stove can't use electricity. Unlike, say, the Taylor bench, the electric one, you can still see it says can work without electricity at 50% normal speed. Well, that's the speed of this. See, 50%. Ah, that's why that one said that. So that'd be 100%, that'd be 50. If it ran out of power, it would just be like a regular workbench. So you don't need to have two. You could just get rid of one and just use this. You know. Anyway, yeah. Okay, well that'll be the end of this video. And I guess we'll do another one. We'll see what we go from there. Maybe we can learn a few more things. So thank you for stopping by and watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Later.